Hugo has a question. Literal translation of a pitch. A pitch, Hugo, is usually a sales proposition. Sales proposition. When you are trying to make a sale or convince somebody of a particular idea. Thank you, Linda. Wonderful idea. Good, Francesco. You're welcome, Hugo. Okay, great. Let's look at this in a little bit more detail. Yes, so essentially, an elevator pitch is exactly that. Imagine you are in an elevator and you meet the person who can unlock your professional dreams or aspirations. You need to communicate and perhaps convince that person in the time it takes for you to get to your elevator level or destination, which is obviously very, very short. So this is the idea, communicating your goal, your intentions, and what you need in a very, very short amount of time. That is it. That's a summary. Okay. Now let's look at how we actually do this in reality. Okay, so we break the elevator pitch down into 3 stages. Now on the internet, you will find different variations, you'll find other suggestions, but this is what I found has worked best with foreign students, okay, international students. The first step is to state your mission, not your position. Most people will say, for example, I'm Stephen, I'm an English teacher. That's not how I introduce myself in this session, okay? I introduce, for example, British community as our mission is to change the way we learn languages, okay? That's our mission. I didn't say we're just an English school, okay? So slight difference there. When we communicate our mission, we are capturing the listener's attention, okay? Which brings us to step 2. Why is this relevant to the listener? If it isn't relevant to them, they're not going to listen to us. Okay, so in my example, we are trying to change the way we learn languages because this could make employees, if employees speak English fluently, they can be more productive for the company and generate bigger revenue or more sales or whatever it may be. So perhaps if I'm speaking to a business owner, now I have his attention. It's in his interest that his employees speak English and can produce more. And then the final part, this is where a lot of people fail. Call to action. You've explained your mission. You have the listener's attention, but now what do you want him to do? Do you just want a round of applause? Do you want a smile? Do you want a handshake? You need something concrete. So let's get a meeting. Let's exchange email addresses. Let's meet for lunch to discuss a project tomorrow, okay? You need to give a very specific call to action, which the other person can agree to in the moment. Because once that person leaves you, the moment's gone, okay? So if you have a meeting or an agreement with them before they leave, you've done your job, okay? So if you have any questions, please write into the chat about that. And Emma and I will have a look and we'll try to answer any questions you may have. Here's my example in written form. Perhaps that will help you. And what I'd love for you to do now is to take a minute and I'd like you to think about your own elevator pitch. Okay, so it could be for your job, it could be a personal project, or you could even invent it just to practice this together. Okay, so I'm going to give you 1 to 2 minutes. Think about how you're going to construct your own elevator pitch, how you're going to introduce yourself and what you want to achieve. And then when we're ready, we're going to go into little groups and we're going to pitch together and pitch to each other. Okay. I'll just give you a few minutes to prepare. Don't forget, if you have any questions, Emma and I are happy to help you prepare your pitch. Okay, so if you can just finish off. Doesn't matter if you haven't completely finished. Emma and I will now, we're going to put you into groups, and then we are going to join the groups to give you some support and some constructive feedback, okay? When you are pitching to your partner, when you're finished, your partner should either ask a question, either provide some feedback or some constructive criticism. We are looking to improve our pitches together today. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing the screen and we're going to go into the breakout rooms. Okay. Sorry, just 1 second. Oh, Gianluca's joining us.
Hello.
Hi, Claudia. Good evening. Where's Daniele? Is Daniele here?
Yeah, I don't know. He's on mute.
You haven't spoken to him at all?
Nope.
Oh.
Because he was on mute.
Oh dear, lucky I checked on you. Okay, Claudia, I'll put you into a different group, okay?
Yeah, sure.
So you can have a conversation with somebody.
Yeah. I was
All
talking
right.
to myself.
I'll see you in a second.
Okay.
Bello colorito.
Sì. Un po' American
Hello.
broccoli.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome, welcome. So who would like to start with their elevator pitch?
I can start.
Ce lo siamo detti.
Wonderful. Okay, Claudia, you
Start, okay. So my name is Claudio and I'm a startup advisor. My mission is to help founders to scale business. Startup scaling quickly has increased the likelihood to do a big exit. Can we discuss your business during the next days or weeks?
Lovely, lovely. Thank you, Claudio. Ugo or Francesco, can you give Claudio some feedback?
The presentation is more about his position, it seems. I didn't get completely, but as far as I remember.
Okay, okay. Claudio, perhaps you can look at your presentation. How can you make that a little bit
Right.
more direct?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Try
you.
again.
So when I said that my name is Claudio and I'm a startup advisor.
Yep, good. And then you explained your mission, didn't you?
Okay, my mission. Okay. My mission is to help founders to scale their businesses. Shall I carry on? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're doing great.
So startup scaling quickly increases their likelihood to do a big exit. Can we discuss your business during the next days to understand if I can help you?
Okay, so big success, not exit.
Big
Success, yes. I personally, Claudia, I would say I think you need to improve the call to action a little bit, make it more specific. Right. Why is it important to the other person? How can you help them?
Right.
Maybe work on that. Ugo, maybe you can present to Claudio now. I'm going to check on the other groups. Okay, good job, guys.
Yes.
Thanks.
Ok.
Ho visto che era uscita. Hello.
Good
Hello.
evening. I can hear a lot of Italian here. What's going on?
No, is that when Emma left, we start to talk a little bit in Italian.
This is
It's
the
because,
problem.
yes, but it's also because Gianluca was telling me that he's following this conference by car, from the car.
Oh, goodness me, Gianluca. Careful while you drive. But
no, because I joined the conference late because I was in a meeting inside the company, and the moment I'm speaking, but I cannot see what's going on because
right. Yeah, maybe what can happen is that you drive on the Italian road thinking in the English way.
Good idea, Gaetano, yes. Lovely. So, have you guys pitched to each other already?
Yes, I referred my elevator pitch to Emma, but I believe Gianluca was not there yet.
Okay, no problem. Would you like to pitch?
No,
you heard me? Did you hear me?
When Emma was asking you the elevator pitch, yeah, absolutely, I heard you. And after I started to speak, but I realized that my microphone was switched off.
Okay.
No, I heard your elevator pitch.
Lovely.
And Emma was asking me if I knew what is an elevator pitch.
Okay. Gianluca, could you give Gaetano any feedback on his elevator pitch?
Well, I heard the Gaetano elevator pitch, but probably not since the beginning, or probably the best would be if Gaetano could retell once again his elevator pitch.
Okay. I go. Allora, I am Gaetano. I am a founder of AGR Sicurezza, and my mission is to support small medium enterprise to achieve a proper compliance and management about operational risk. In short, I support workers and small organization and not business organization to achieve a proper management of risk that they can meet during deploying their operation, and managing this to achieve a higher result with their business result. I will, if you are interested in this, maybe we can talk about this, drinking something together.
Well, I think it's, by the way, it's good as elevator pitch. Probably I would emphasize more the results. So Gaetano spoke about the results. So I spoke about the solution that is capable to give to a company. So probably I would like to emphasize if I would be him, I would like to emphasize more this as part of the elevator pitch to attract more.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that, Gaetano?
Yes, it's that in preparing in short way is that risk management is a quite broad range of activities, and for this
Exactly.
reason I took it from the upper part, like.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think obviously it depends on who you are pitching to, who you are selling to.
Yeah.
And there you can be more
Narrow.
specific. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, definitely. But I do agree with Gianluca's feedback as well. I think that was good, constructive feedback. But
Yes,
yeah.
I agree too.
Good, good. Well done, guys. And Gaetano, just one thing. I don't know if you can see the chat.
No, I have to open it.
Can you see that?
Yes, now yes.
How do we pronounce that?
I can see the chat now.
Okay, can you see that word? Do you see what I wrote in the chat?
Management.
Management. Yeah, perfect. Management. Okay, well done, guys. We're going to go back to the main room now, okay? See you in a second.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Okay, is everyone back yet? Not yet. How did they get on, Emma?
It went well. It went well. They had all of their key points in their pitches. They had their call to action. Went pretty well. They were giving each other some nice advice as well.
Okay, good, good. I'm going to share a few suggestions just to keep in mind. I think that everyone could benefit from. Okay, I think everyone's back in the room, right? Yes. Okay, so well done, guys. I know an elevator pitch is not easy, especially in a second language. So, you did a very good job. I'd like to just share a little bit of advice just for everyone, considerations to keep in mind. So I think the first one I'll write in the chat here is sale. So the elevator pitch is in fact a sale, whether you are selling a service, a product, the opportunity for a meeting, you are selling yourself in some way, okay? You're not explaining your job or what you do. That's a really important point, okay? So no explanations. It's be very direct, very concise as well. Remember, the elevator pitch, should it be long or should it be short? What's your opinion, long or short? Should it be 30 seconds or should it be 2 minutes? Any ideas? I could see Ugo saying short.
2 minutes.
Yes, 30 seconds.
Okay, I heard somebody say 2 minutes. Ugo says 30 seconds. I
believe
agree.
it should be proper.
Great. Agree.
In sense, not too short and never too long.
Okay, don't forget, you are in an elevator and you don't have much time before you get to the next level. The idea is it needs to be very short. I would say about 30 seconds. Of course, once you get the meeting with the person, then you can talk for hours. But it's that first impact that is important, okay? So if you're making a sale, you must be very direct. So you must be clear on what you are selling and keep it short, 30 seconds, okay? So sale, direct, and 30 seconds. Okay, this is my advice. All right. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next section. And And you should be able to see a very short survey on your screen with a few questions. This is how we begin our career mapping course together with our students. Have a look at some of these questions. The votes are anonymous, so we won't know who's voting for what. You don't need to overthink it. Here we go. Okay, I can see the results coming in now. And we'll share the results together afterwards. Let's see. Most confident speaking, listening. Okay, we're waiting for 3 more people, I believe. Okay. There's one more person who hasn't voted yet. Okay, wow, quite surprising results here. So the majority, it seems, are looking for new opportunities. Most confident with speaking and listening, excellent. CV is the hardest for the majority of people here. Okay, we have a mix of sales, communication, human resources, and the majority feel, well, it's like more than half feel that English is important for your career and salary. I don't know if I can share these results. Yes, I can. There we go. You should be able to see the results that everybody voted. So quite interesting. So we do a pre-course analysis before starting career mapping. So we want to understand your objectives first and foremost before you start the course. And I will continue. So we do the analysis before we go into the first module, which is personal branding. So using the chat, when you see these symbols, these brand logos, what comes to mind? What words, what adjectives? What do these represent in your mind? Just write them in the chat. So Mercedes, Ferrari, Apple, what do they represent to you? Ferrari could be, yeah, they're all icons, but what emotions or what do you associate? Successful companies, okay. Be specific to the brand. Elegance, genius. Okay, thank you, Linda. Yeah, I'm looking for these kinds of connections. You know, if you buy a Mercedes, you're expecting quality, aren't you? You're expecting perhaps comfort. Thank you, Sylvia. Yeah, good. Ugo, Francesco, yeah. Okay, great. So the reason brands are so powerful is because they create an idea in the minds of the consumers. Okay, so when you see their product, their logo, their colors, you immediately associate these qualities. It's the same for personal branding. It's completely the same. it's the same for us, you know. How do you promote yourself? Okay, that is what personal branding is all about, is what association do you wish to give other people about you? Okay, this is something that we don't think about. When you're on LinkedIn, personal branding is all about having a beautiful LinkedIn page or a pretty CV. You know, very few people realize that personal branding is what do you associate with that person. So when you see Steve, do you associate him with a reliable, trustworthy trainer, or do you think something else perhaps? Okay, this is the idea. So the next activity, you don't need to write this in the chat. You can keep this private if you prefer. How do you think other people define you at the moment? So if other people have to describe you in one word or two words, what would they say? Just write that down on a piece of paper, in the chat if you wish. This is just very important to reflect on this. Are you reliable? Are you resilient? Are you creative? It could be anything, and it could be negative as well. And if it is negative, that's something that we need to address. Okay, so I'll go to the next slide now. That exercise in itself is very, very important because a lot of people never, ever reflect on this, how the world sees them. We always think about how we see the world, okay? So that's a very important point. How then, once we identify either what we are at the moment and what we want to project, how then do we communicate this, okay? And this is what we explore and practice together in career mapping personal branding. So we understand, first of all, what we project at the moment, what we actually want to project for the job, for the career that we want to get, and then how do we actually communicate? How do we promote our personal brand, okay? So these are the topics that we actually practice together. And you can see some examples here. Some are more traditional than others. You can see the first image on the left. Business cards, flyers, leaflets, presentations. This is a more traditional method of promoting ourselves. Then we also have here personal website, okay? If you are a serious professional, if you are at a considerably high level, also depending on what field you're in, a personal website is very, very important and can communicate a lot to potential employers or companies or clients. And then, of course, finally, social media, very, very powerful tool if it's used correctly. So these are just some examples of how we promote our personal brand. So looking at LinkedIn now, I imagine everybody here is on LinkedIn. This is my LinkedIn here. As I said, please connect with me. It'd be my pleasure to give any one of you some support in helping you optimize your profile. I will just briefly go over some of the more important parts of the LinkedIn profile. So the cover image, which is this part here, this is the cover image, or the banner, it's also known as. Imagine this is, imagine your LinkedIn profile is a shop. It's your shop where you sell your products and services. Your banner is your shop window. It's the first thing that people see. Okay, so that image needs to reflect and represent the message that you want to communicate. Okay, so I mean, I hope that I have communicated the right message in my banner. So simple, effective communication. That's exactly what I train students in. Okay, that's the message I'm looking to give. And I'm doing this for professionals, not children, not university students, but for professionals. And you can see that in my banner image. Okay, obviously my photo my personal photo. Again, because it's an image, our eyes are attracted to the images before we see any of the text. So they are very important. Now, depending on the role that you have, you want to have a more formal or informal image. Okay, mine is semi-formal. That's the message I want to communicate. The about section is very important. Again, what do you need to communicate? You can have a look at my profile for my example. I won't go into it now. And then we have the experience. Okay, obviously this is your professional background, your proof, your evidence of your experience that you can do what you're offering to do. So I'm offering simple, effective communication. And you can see in my history, my professional history, that is what I have done for the last 15 years. Okay. I apologize if I'm going through this quite quickly, otherwise we will run out of time. If you do have questions, remember, keep them for the end. Oh dear, sorry, let me clear the screen. Okay, there we go. So just to wrap up personal branding, LinkedIn is just a starting point. It's not the end. It's not everything. LinkedIn is just one way to promote ourselves. Google is another, your own website or forum, public forums, where you can talk about people, answer people's questions. You can be a mentor to people. I'm part of a mentor project, which is called Micro Mentor for business professionals, where we support each other for free. Digital certification and articles. Articles are a great way to promote what you do and your experience and to verify your abilities. If you're interested in more on personal branding, Gary Vaynerchuk is also very, very famous for his promotion of personal branding and how to personal brand. So I do advise you check him out as well. Okay, we're going to go on to the next module section now, which is CV optimization. So just in the chat, answer me this question. Is writing a CV, is it a science or is it an art? Write your answer write your idea in the chat. Science or art? Okay, Linda says science, Sylvia art. Okay. Francesco, bit of both, a little bit more science, okay. Roberta also agrees with Francesco, lovely. Okay. Okay, brilliant. Well, the answer is there's no real correct answer. My personal opinion is CV writing is, yes, it is both. It is both. It's both art and science. It really depends on your job and the field that you work in. Okay, we're going to explore that in more detail now. Okay, so here we have an example of a bad CV, and I'm going to give you 30 seconds to write down all your ideas why this is a bad CV. So I will start, for example, here. No personal details. Of course, this is just an example, but a lack of personal information is not good. Using the chat, write down your ideas. What else is wrong with this CV? Flat and anonymous. Thank you, Hugo. Any other ideas? You can consider layout, no photo. Thank you, Christina. Is it easy to read? What about the font? Colors? Not very accurate. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, there's sort of no timeline of professional experience. There's just an explanation. No structured templates. Okay. Okay, yes, these are all valid ideas. Yeah, very well done, Sylvia. It's just a list. It's just a list. Not easy to read and not stressed. Okay, yes, correct. Absolutely. Okay. So, can you see the new screen here? Okay, you should be able to see 3 examples of good CVs now. Same activity, 30 seconds, and write down what is good about these CVs. And don't just say the opposite of the previous page. You may not like the colors, the layouts, dynamic layout, personal photo, good, yeah, on some of them. Okay, let's change the color here a little bit. Okay. Information is clustered for main topics, so that sounds like a negative, Roberta. Enhancing each part of the CV. Okay, good. These are all good ideas. So some good points. Photo. So George here in his photo, he looks quite formal. So I imagine he's got quite a formal role. Could be a banker, lawyer, for example. Whereas Jane is communicating a completely different message just with her photo. See how powerful the photo is. Okay. Similar structures. We've got a brief overview at the top. And there are different ways of doing this. As you can see here, we've got a professional overview. And then here we've got areas of expertise, skills, very easy to see. I know these are a little bit smaller, but you can see that they're very clearly labeled, easy to find and locate. In George's case, we have a lot of visuals. Okay, it's easy to interpret the information. You don't have to read lots of text. He's got bullet points. He hasn't just written a whole explanation of his career. Okay, very short, concise, direct, just like the elevator pitch. Okay, the same also for Jane. She has a list of points. And if you notice, this is probably too small for you to see on your screens, but all of the jobs are relevant to the position she's applying for. Yeah, she's a marketing executive. Look at all her background: marketing consultancy, strategist, specialist. It's all relevant. You know, if you're in marketing, don't write about when you were working, when you had your own, I don't know, bakery or pizzeria or something like this. It's not relevant to this position, okay? We could discuss a lot of elements here: structure, length. That's without even talking about the content of how we communicate our experiences. We don't have enough time, unfortunately, to go into all of this evening, but these are all of the aspects that we work on together in the course. And you can see how it is a combination of science and art. You do need a good structure that is clear, direct, easy to interpret, but it also depends on the job that you're going for, yeah, your role, and again, the message you want to communicate. I think that's the underlying theme here. Okay. So just for you to take away a very kind of short summary. When we're writing CVs, 4 good practices. Before you start writing, reflect. Okay, reflect on your experiences, reflect on the successes in your career, the biggest successes, and what is your objective now? Are you going for a new job? Is it a new industry? Is it a new career? Or is it not? Okay, so what are you trying to communicate? Use specific information, so be detailed, don't be general. You want to talk about results. specific results, statistics, use statistics, use awards, for example, yeah, results. These are all examples. Layout and structure, as we briefly discussed, and terminology. You need to use the buzzwords, the keywords that the interviewer knows or understands that you know the content, you know the subject. Okay, so the terminology is very, very important. Okay. Cover letter. So this is module 3. Again, I apologize for going through this very quickly. An hour and a half is very little to cover all of this information. The cover letter, similar principle. 30 seconds. What's wrong with this atrocious cover letter? It's horrible. Please tell me what's wrong. Just write your ideas in the chat very, very quickly. I don't know where to start. It's terrible. Not attractive. Thank you, Hugo. Yeah, it's definitely not attractive. The structure is terrible. As you can see, I've underlined several lines that there's no, it's just one long phrase. Okay. Chaotic, it's not, it's unclear, the information's irrelevant. Does it show motivation? Does this cover letter show you, imagine you are the employer, does it tell you, please hire me? Does it tell you, I want this job? Not at all. Okay, it shows a lack of enthusiasm. It shows the complete opposite. No interest at all. Exactly, thank you, Linda, yeah. 4 good practices for a cover letter. You'll notice they're exactly the same as the CV, but do you remember them? Can you write them down? What was number 1? What was step 1? Let's see who remembers. What was practice number 1? Read. Let's see someone writing. Reflect. Excellent. Thank you, Linda. Yes, well done. So reflection. Reflect on your objective. What was number 2? Thank you, Francesco. Good, good. What kind of information, Roberta? Good, thank you, Sylvia. Specific information. Number 3, this was a bit easier. Layout and structure. Beautiful, yes, thank you. And finally, you've got it there already, the terminology or the buzzwords, the keywords that attracts the employer's attention. Great. Okay, so we analyze all of this. We go through our 3 Ps in each module, okay? So our preparation, our practice, and our performance. So you can see that we've discussed those points for each module so far. Okay, we're going to come to the funner part of the session tonight. Okay, little quiz for you, true or false. This is now the interview simulation module, the final module of the course. Using the chat, true or false. If you can write number 1, T or F, number 2, T or F. 30 seconds, write down. What do you think, true or false? In an interview. So when you're in an interview, do you answer questions directly or indirectly? Should you give facts and statistics? Should we use real work experiences, past experiences, or should we invent? Should we just explain our experiences? Should we speak for more than 90 seconds? Thank you, Roberta. You can use true or false, T or F. So, for example, like this, you can write. Thank you. Sylvia thinks true for number 1.
Thank you, Linda. Linda thinks they're all true.
Awesome. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Francesco. Francesco has a different opinion. Sylvia agrees. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you, Gaetano. Thank you, True. For okay, we have some differing answers. Again, guys, this is not strictly a science. This is based on our experience of preparing professionals for interviews. Okay, this is what we have found has worked best. So definitely answer questions directly when you are being interviewed by a British or American company. They do not want to hear the stories, the reasons why. You want to be as direct as possible. They ask you a question, you say yes because, no because. Okay. So answer directly. Facts and statistics depends on your industry, but facts and statistics always demonstrate preparation. If I told you that 90% of English speakers are in higher paid jobs, that gives you more, that gives me more influence than just by saying English speakers earn more money. Yeah. Facts and statistics are a lot more powerful in communicating. Number 3, use real past experiences. Absolutely. Okay. Use your successes, your professional successes as evidence to support you in the interview, to show that you are the best candidate for the position. And number 4, it depends. If you are a top executive, if you're going for very high positions, the questions will be very detailed and you'll need to speak for more than 90 seconds. You'll need to give a lot of detail, a lot of facts and statistics, evidence. If you're going for a lower or entry-level position, then 90 seconds may be sufficient. Okay? Great. So imagine that you have taken this course, Career Mapping. At this module, at this stage of the course, you will already be clear on your objectives, on the skills that you have and don't have, and your most important work experiences or successes. Okay, so at this point in the course, we will have worked on all of these elements. You'll be super ready to present yourself in the interview. One thing, a big, very important thing that a lot of candidates forget is research. Okay, I'm sure you've heard this before, research the company, but perhaps you've heard it for the wrong reason. People say research the company because maybe in the interview they'll test you on the company. What do you know about us? Actually, you should research the company to understand why you want to work for them. Why is this company good for you and your career and your skills and your development? Because if they're not, are you going to be happy in this company? Are you going to be able to give the best of your ability and skills? Maybe not. Okay, so don't waste your time working for a company that isn't good for you. And most people don't do that. Most people apply for the wrong reasons. Okay, so that's just something for you to reflect on. And now we'll look at the actual interview itself and some techniques. Now, I'm sure all of you know this. When we are in our interview, this is a communication or communicative method, technique that a lot of people use to give their answers, to communicate their ideas. Now, STAR is an acronym, but do you know what it stands for? What do the letters stand for? So S, what is the S for? Any ideas? You may not know, that's fine too. We're all here to learn. So the S is for situation. T is for task. A is action. And R is result. Let me just expand that. There we go. Okay. Now, some of you may be familiar with this. Some of you may not. Okay, STAR technique. This is a communication technique for how to organize the ideas you want to present. Okay, so you start with a situation, a moment, a project, a time when you were working for a specific company. You explain the task, what was your responsibility, or what was the objective, the action that you took. So what did you do? Did you manage a team? Did you manage a budget? And what was the result you achieved? Did you finish a project ahead of schedule? Did you finish under budget? Did you win an award? Okay. Now, this is very famous, this technique, but it can be difficult for non-native English speakers. So what we've done is simplified it into the EAR technique, EAR, EAR technique. So we simplified it into describing an experience. What was your experience? What did you do in this experience? And what was the result? Okay, remember I'm structuring my idea at this point. Let's give you an example. So this is just a very basic example. Imagine this interview question. Can you do this job? Well, I could answer this question by saying I can start with my experience, yeah? I was responsible for a team of 10 people for 6 months in my last project. Okay, we know what the situation is. We know what the experience is. What did I do now? What is the action that I took? I organized the objectives, I delegated, and I monitored progress. Those are the skills that I practiced in this experience. I'm demonstrating my skills, okay? And these are the results. We completed the project before schedule, under budget, and the result, the true result, I have the confidence and motivation to become a manager. I want to be a manager. Give me this job. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Just tell me, are we listing? Am I telling you a list of all the jobs I did? Am I telling you about all the different responsibilities I had? No. Okay, I'm telling you about one specific project and what I did and what I achieved. So you can see again, the idea is to be very direct, focused, narrow, and specific. Okay, no lists, no explanations. Okay, just, it's like you're telling a story. Okay. This is your opportunity to prep. I'm going to give you a few minutes, and using pen and paper, not in the chat, I want you to write down your 3 best career experiences. It could be a moment of leadership. It could be a moment of recognition. It could be a moment when you helped a colleague. And also prepare one moment that went wrong, because we've all had problems. We've all had failures. So write that down as well. And I want you to use the EAR technique in preparing to answer questions about our experiences. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few minutes, make some notes. Emma and I are here in the chat to support if you have questions or if anything's unclear. Okay, so I'm going to count down 3 minutes, and then we're going to go into the rooms and we're going to practice together. Yeah, thank you, Emma. Yeah, A is for action. Experience, action, result. So I'm going to write this. Okay, you got about 1.5 minutes. So if you've written down your ideas, think about the structure, how to communicate those ideas. You can still ask us any questions if you need support. Don't be shy, we're here to help. And interview practice is useful even if you have a lot of experience. It's always good to practice your interview skills. Okay, so just 30 seconds. Okay, and time's up. Okay, for the purposes of this practice together, we're going to go into our groups again, and we're going to practice interviewing each other using these very, very simple standard job interview questions. Okay, they're very basic, and I chose these questions because we are focusing on our answers, not on the questions. Okay, so when you ask your partner the questions, listen to their answers and check, are they following the EAR, the EAR technique? Okay, this is very, very important. If you are the interviewer, you need to help your colleague. Give them constructive feedback. This is your moment to improve and to practice together. Okay, so please take a picture with a mobile phone, or I'll take a screenshot as well. And you'll need access to this image in your private room. Okay, so if you have a mobile phone, or if you take a screenshot, take a photo of the questions now. If there's any problem with that, I'll jump into the room and help you. Okay, I think everyone should have done that by now. And I'll stop sharing the screen. And we'll go into our breakout rooms. Okay.
As well as P&L optimization. I'm highly focused on people motivation and development, and I definitely move considering the performance. Let's say we can consider myself as a performance driven.
Very well. I like your answer. Actually, I really like it. Absolutely. And then, why do you want?
Hi,
Sorry,
ciao Roberta, hi.
Ciao, ciao,
No
okay.
problem, ciao. And then the
Hi.
second question is, why do you want to work for this company?
I like the challenge of managing complex operational and strategic initiatives, being very effective on execution across multiple functions and region. That's exactly what you are looking for, and that's exactly what I like to do.
Silvia, you are fantastic. If I really was an interviewer, I would really hire you immediately.
Lovely.
So let's make it.
No, absolutely. I'm not. I don't have a company, so I cannot hire you. But I really suggest you. I would really suggest you.
Thank you
Well
so
done.
much.
Take turns. Take turns. Sylvia, do you have the questions
Okay.
as well?
I know we were following different rules, meaning that we were trying to exercise ourselves, following the list of the questions.
Yep.
And to each of us, that's what we would like to do.
Yeah, absolutely. If you'd like to ask Linda a question, then she can practice also
Okay.
answering.
So
No
as a
problem.
real interview, meaning
Absolutely.
asking questions.
Pressure.
Okay, good. Understand. So now I do not have a question for the time being. Ask me something else.
No,
And I will
but
do.
do you have the picture, the screenshot of the question, Silvia?
Now I took it. Yes, now I take it. Now I'm in
Okay.
front of me.
If you
Okay.
want, do you
If you
have
want, you
it?
can.
If I can share the screen here and you can take a screenshot.
Good. Good. And therefore, as I told you, if I'm right, that's exactly what you are looking in terms of position, right?
Exactly. Definitely, this is what I'm looking for. My company is looking for this. What do you suggest? I mean, do you want me to keep going with the questions for Silvia, or shall we?
No, yeah, it'd be good if
Switch.
Sylvia asks a
Okay.
question, you can practice answering. Yeah.
Okay. So, Silvia, do you want me to make one of the questions? Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, Linda, what do you think is your biggest strength for our company? Why do we have to hire you?
I am a very passionate and full of energy person. So when I like a project, I really marry it and I really bring it on with a lot of dedication and efforts in order to reach the results and the goals, the focus that together with the company we decided to reach.
Okay.
That sounds great.
Can I interrupt?
Yes, please.
I'm sorry. Allow me to interrupt because I don't have much time. I have to jump into the next group.
Yeah.
Linda, some feedback for you.
Yeah.
Your English is good. Fluency in communication is good. So you gave me a very good impression. Give me an example from your career where you demonstrated those abilities.
Yes. For example, because some years ago, I was branch manager of one of our Italian branch here in Italy. And I succeeded to find out some incorrect procedures that were causing financial issues for the branch. Mm-hmm. It was a very hard job. So of course I did it with my team. But at the end, we succeeded to find these troubles, to fix them. And so the branch was growing up again. So the financial issue was then much better.
You've got it. That is exactly what you should have said before.
Okay. And so I should have said this one rather than the other one. Okay. Fantastic.
Because I don't know you. Mm-hmm. You can tell me I am lovely. I am fantastic. I'm the best. I'm happy. I don't know.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But if you tell me you were branch manager, you discovered a problem and you resolved that problem.
Okay.
Okay, wow. Okay, this is a manager that can solve problems and that can manage a team.
Okay, fantastic.
That's what you've told me. Brilliant.
Thank you for the feedback.
No, well done.
Thank you very much.
Good job. I'm going to join.
Okay.
Good.
And let me take the picture.
In sense, they do something if something happen. If there is no the case, the real case or the bad point, they are not acting to remove or to set up a structure for organization.
I completely agree with you, but sometimes it's too late for them to react when there is when there is the fire inside the company.
Yes, I know,
it's difficult to react.
Yeah, but in that moment they call you. Will be up and the same.
And is it a long time that you go back to Ancona, to Italy?
Yeah, around 4 years, 4 or 5 years.
See.
Yeah, I opened the business 4 years ago. I started the business. Yeah.
But with the virus, with the COVID today, is there opportunities for you, or it's difficult?
It depends, because my sector is not totally blocked, like to say. I can for courses I can do before. Now there is there was the decree from the region, and we can do courses, for example, only on online. But we can, as I have some practical lesson, I can do practical lesson in class. So, and this compulsory. This
compulsory.
Compulsory, yeah. Compulsory, yeah.
So, sorry to interrupt, guys. Have you practiced the interview questions?
Yes.
Yeah, excellent. So, I don't know, Gaetano, can you choose one to ask Gianluca, just as an example to show me?
Hi, Gianluca. Can you tell me about one situation in which you have to act to resolve a problem in your organization?
Yeah, I give you a new one, not what I told you before. This at the time I was CEO of a small group of companies in the Marche region, and when I joined this group of companies, they called me because the financial situation was really a disaster. They lost 800,000 euros. And so I started this very tough job to recover and to move from losses to benefits. And after 24 months, 2 years, the company was once again from a loss of 800,000 to a gain of 80,000 euros in 24 months.
Okay, good. Well done, Gianluca. I like the fact that you also included like some specific details there, which is good. Gaetano, I felt one part was missing from the answer. What do you think? So if we consider, for example, as we discussed before, EAR, experience, experience, action, and result. Gianluca explained his experience. He explained the problem, the company, and then he told us the results.
Without the action.
I didn't understand what he actually did to achieve the results. Did you?
Yeah.
No, in fact,
sorry.
No, I was before I was thinking that maybe the action was not so described deep. But he like passed on it very quickly.
Yeah. Gianluca, what action did you take?
There were too many actions. Difficult to describe. From firing people to increasing sales to increasing the productivity inside the factory. A lot of actions all together, not only just one. And this combination of actions move from losses to a benefit in the balance sheet of the company.
Excellent, and that's a great answer. Obviously, in a real interview, you would probably, in your position, you would have explained in more details. But because we're just practicing, yeah, that was enough, you know. This was the problem. I was responsible for, you know, I had to reduce staff, I had to increase productivity, and as a result, we went from negative to positive, yeah. We went from sort of in the red to, yeah. And you've got your EAR structure, perfect, perfect, absolutely perfect. So well done, guys. We are very quickly running out of time, so we're going to go back to the main room to close off the session. All right, thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Steve, is it finished? Is it finished? I can't see anyone here.
No, they're returning from the private room.
Okay, okay.
But were you in the room?
I was in the room
Okay.
number 2, but I lost the connection, so I was restarting everything here. Sorry.
Okay, no problem,
Sorry.
don't worry. We have.
I was following the others discussions, so
Wonderful,
I'm
wonderful.
here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I'd just like to say well done to everyone. I heard some really good examples and really people explaining their experience, not just telling people their qualities. Okay, remember that is the best technique that I can teach you for interviews. Focus on one specific experience, what you did in that experience, and what you achieved from it. Okay, as I mentioned to one of the students, remember the interviewer doesn't know you. If you tell them you are brilliant, that you are beautiful, that you are strong, that you are a leader, they have no idea. Okay, but if you tell them the time that you were a manager and you coordinated a team of 10 people via Zoom to complete a project, I don't know, and you achieved it within 1 week, that speaks more than just explaining how wonderful you are. Okay, lovely. And we just got a few minutes left. These are some.
One question that did come up during
Yeah.
the interviews was, how do they answer the last question? They kind of wanted some feedback on maybe
Very difficult
on what the others maybe think.
This is a very tricky question. I believe it depends on your role and your, let's say, expertise and experience. I think if you're going for top level jobs, I think you can be more, I think you have the right, you have the permission to be more specific because you have more responsibility. You may even have negotiation power, maybe. More, let's say, entry-level positions, that question is best answered indirectly. In a sense, you know, I'm looking for a competitive salary which matches the market rates, or you know, something along those lines, which is indirect. You answer, but you don't say a number. Whereas if you're going for an executive position, you have more power to negotiate, or you have more permission to really be a little bit more direct. But it is a difficult one. Remember, it's art, not a science. Okay, great question, great question. Just to round off, here are a few other considerations that we work on, obviously during the course together, including buzzwords and key terminology in your interview, how you demonstrate your value. That's what the interview is for, okay? It's your opportunity to share, to present your value to the company and what you can bring. There's a lot of, and then we have the linguistic aspects as well, how we actually improve our English for the interview, you know, in terms of our fluency, pronunciation, and all of these considerations there. Structure we looked at today, EAR. There's a lot of work that goes into, obviously, into this training. Okay, we've answered quite a few questions during the session. Does anyone have any final doubts or uncertainties? Does anyone would anyone like to clarify anything just before we round up? Perhaps not. Okay, well, my mission today was to provide you guys as much value as possible in as little time that we have. So I really hope you've learned not just one thing, but numerous insights or skills today that you can then put into practice. So I hope my mission was successful. My call to action for you today is to join our happy hour tomorrow. So it's just a fun, informal meeting together, meet new people, speak English. And this is really because of the quarantine. We're trying to bring the community together and give people some support during these tough times. So please do register on our website. Very specific call to action, you'll notice. And you'll receive news for the upcoming events if you'd like to participate. And these are all free as well. Okay, so the website is britishcommunity.org. We're on all of your major social media channels as well, including YouTube. And connect with Emma Fusco and Stephen Pigeon on LinkedIn if you wish. And if you have any questions, we'd love to help you out, give you some more advice. Okay, and just before we leave, Manager Italia has asked me to get a photo, but I can see not many people have their cameras on. So I think it would just be Linda at the moment. Oh, Claudio's back, lovely. Yeah, it'd be great to have a photo together. And I believe they'll put it on their LinkedIn. Everyone's back. Gianluca, nice to see you.
Yeah.
Silvia Gaetano, Roberta. Okay, wonderful. All right, I'll take a quick screenshot together on 3, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Beautiful, lovely. Guys, you've been a wonderful class. It's been a real pleasure to teach you today and to share this time. Thank you very, very much for attending.
Thank you, everybody, and have a lovely evening.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you
guys.
very much.
Thank you. Bye.
All the
Bye.
best.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. All the best. Thank you.
Thanks.